Okay, so this video is about what I think happened in my brain when I had this self-realization moment. Okay? So basically my life story in a nutshell was I was born into a conservative Christian religion, pretty strict. Um, didn't like it as a kid, pretty negative experience. So when I left in my teens, I started I was convinced that God was real. I always knew that there was some truth to the concept of God, but I didn't know what it was exactly. So yeah, basically I spent like 10 years kind of like looking for the truth. Um, but also during that time period, I, um, I picked up music and I started making music. And I was actually very like I spent a lot of time on music and a lot of dedication on music. I was very driven, but I never really understood why I was driven. I never understood why I was driven. But also then like at the same time I was looking for God. But like all this time, like after reading so much, I kind of saw the the I kind of got the gist of it. Um, but yeah, it made sense, but it was a very intellectual way of understanding. But it made sense to me, but I was like, I don't really feel it. I get the concept, but I don't really feel it. I don't feel it. I understand it, but I don't feel it. It's funny because when I made music, I felt the music I was making. I really felt the music I was making. But other than that, I was pretty numb. I was pretty out of touch with my body, with my emotions. But when it came to music, I really felt it while I was making the music. And so basically, fast forward a bunch of years. So yeah, just like recently, I finished my second EP. Uh, yeah, not technically it's not my second, but I finished my second EP with my new project, which is my real name, Ashley Morgan. It's actually my real name, and I finished my second EP. And during the coronavirus epidemic, and it's funny because the religion I grew up in was an apocalyptic based religion. So I was literally born into a religion that taught me that the world was gonna end. And with this corona shit, I literally felt this vibe in the air like the world was gonna end. And that for me was like a catalyst for my self-realization because I suddenly I knew I felt in my heart what I understood in my mind. I felt in my heart that I was God or a part of God or not, I'm not even going to say a part of God. It literally felt like I was God. And that might not be the ultimate truth, but what I feel happened there like during my life was like I never connected the two. I never connected um, my creativity, my music, with my intellectualized searching for God. I always thought of it as like two different paths, two different journeys. And after that self-realization moment, all these insights came flooding in as to why I made the music I made, why it sounded the way why it sounds the way it sounds. And suddenly I saw that my music was like a sort of emotional search for God. And in this awakening moment, I feel like my left logical side of my brain, intellectual side of my brain, and my right creative side of my brain, they just merged. they merged, and suddenly I feel like I'm using my whole brain. I feel like it kind of like set this process in motion, and it feels very natural, it feels very healthy. I feel very alive for the first time in my entire, I've never felt this alive. And I feel grounded. I can still go to the store. I can still talk to people. I can still have a basic normal conversation. I can still write down my name. I can still do normal stuff that normal people do. So going crazy is a healthy thing, but we just need facilities that facilitate the process of going crazy so we can bring people through the craziness and bring them to a next level of consciousness and understanding. But like, we don't have that. If someone has irrational thoughts like I'm God, we label that person as crazy, and we say that that person needs to take medication and needs to be locked up because he could be a potential danger. That's pretty fucked up. Society looks at psychotic people like there's a malfunctioning in their brain, while it's actually their brain is trying to heal trauma. Their brain is trying to return back to wholeness, and and society suppresses that shit. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. Right now, I feel good, and I feel healthy as fuck. I feel alive. I feel happy. Yeah, man. This is just something to think about. This is something to ponder about. And I feel like, I don't know. Fuck it.